2, 3, funk it.
Hey guys, it's Linh and I recently moved out of my previous apartment and I did everything by myself. So today let's talk about my moving experience in Japan. Moving here was so tiring because there were a lot of things I had to do, and it was actually the first time for me to do everything by myself, because when I was living with my friends before, I was never the last one to leave the apartment, so I actually didn't have to do any of the things that I'm going to show you guys in this video. If you ever watch any videos about moving inside Japan, you probably see videos in which the Japanese moving company will just come over and you just have to do nothing and they will pack and do everything for you. However, in fact, those services can be very expensive, and like not everyone in Japan can afford that or is willing to pay for that, at least not me. And I had to move around the end of March, and normally in Japan if you try to move around March or April, it's normally really expensive because there are just a lot of people moving around, and this can be like employees who just got transferred to a new place, or like students who just got into university, or it can also be like new graduate who just started their new jobs. So normally around this period of time it will cost like 2 or 3 times more than normal to actually use any kind of moving service. If you watch my apartment tour video before, you probably know that I used to have a lot of furniture, but I just like didn't want to bring any of them with me because I wanted to minimize the cost. However, when I tried to ask several moving companies for the estimate cost, they told me that it's gonna cost around 80,000 yen, even though I just wanted to send some boxes and without any furniture. Now, if you want to use moving service, it's common here to just check the price of several different companies and compare and just go for the cheapest one. So I checked the price of several companies, and normally on the website they have this form that you can fill out, and there will be some basic question like when you want to move and whether there's an elevator in your building or not, the structure of your building, and what floor your apartment is on, or like how many and what kind of stuffs that you want to move. After you fill out the form, they will call you or email you to inform you the price, and I was surprised at the price that they told me, because for some companies it was written on their website that it only costs around like 25 to like 30,000 yen to move. It seems like the price just increased a lot during this busy period. It's just too expensive, so I decided to send all of the stuff that I want to take to the new place with a delivery service called Yamato. And with Yamato, the price will depend on the size and the number of the boxes that I'm going to send. So if I send less things, it's gonna be much cheaper, and that's why I just wanted to get rid of as many stuffs as possible. When I was cleaning my house, I just realized that I had a lot of clothes I didn't wear anymore, and also I had just a lot of stuff that I don't even remember having. So I just need to get rid of all of this. But in Japan, it's normally really hard to get rid of stuff, and you just have to be very responsible in the way that you throw them away, which is good but also kind of troublesome. So first I wanted to get rid of some of my clothes and accessories. In Japan, you can sell stuff that you don't use anymore at recycle or secondhand shops or thrift stores, but my house was just really far away from all of these, and I couldn't carry all of the stuffs with me directly to the shop to sell. So I just kind of try to figure out another way. I searched a lot on internet, and there are many recycle shops that actually send people to come over to your place and buy it directly from you. But the problem is that like these shops only accept like very good brand or like certain brand, and they will not buy stuffs like Uniqlo or H&M or Forever 21 or like no brand. But all the stuffs that I bought was like not expensive or from any kind of brand. So all the stuff that I owned was not qualified. I couldn't sell my stuffs to these stores, but with a bit more research, I found a service called Furugi de Wakuchin. And the good thing about this service is that you can purchase a kit from their website for around 3,000 yen, and then they will send the package to your house, and you just have to pack your stuff and put it inside and then send it back to them. According to the website, your clothes will be sent to the developing countries to be sold again, and that will help create more job opportunities for the local people. And also the money coming from the clothes will be used to buy vaccine for poor children. So it just made me feel so much better when I was trying to get rid of my clothes. So this is how the kit looks like, and they accept not only clothes but also shoes, bags or accessories, so I could give away a lot of things. I don't know why, but I just feel so guilty when I throw away stuff that are still good, but then I don't need them, so it caused me a lot of stress to have so many things. So I'm really happy that I found this service. Now that I got rid of all my clothes, the next big problem that I had was to deal with my furniture. As I said before, in Japan it's really hard to get rid of things, so if you ever live in Japan, just think really carefully before buying things. My friends told me about this website called Jimoti. On this website, you can post the information and photos of the furniture that you want to sell and can find people who want to buy them. But I didn't have enough time to do that, and also I was a girl living alone, so I just felt uncomfortable with the idea of having strangers to come to my place and pick up the stuff, so it was not a good option for me. I also cannot bring the furniture with me to the recycle shop and sell them by myself, and it also costs money to even hire people to come to your place and pick up the stuff and throw them away for you. Fortunately, there are many recycle shops that offer this service called Suchok Kaitori, and I ended up using this service of a company called Treasure Factory. So all you have to do is just to make a reservation with them, and then they will contact you to confirm the time again, and on the day they will just come over and check the condition of all the stuff, and if you're okay with the price that they inform you, then they will just take all the stuffs out of your house right away. This is how my house looks like after I put away everything and get ready for the furniture to be taken away. As you can see, I have way too many stuffs for just one person. So on the day, two guys came to my place, and one guy was checking the condition of all of the stuffs, and he was taking a lot of photos of each of them and sent to his boss, I guess. Then they were discussing the price and then show me the price at the end. I didn't expect them to pay me much anyway, but I was still surprised that they paid me 0 yen for almost everything. But then I didn't really want to bargain, and also it will cost me money to get rid of these stuffs anyway. I feel like in this way some people can get to use my furniture, so I was okay with it. The stuffs have to be in good condition and not too old for them to buy, and they also don't buy stuffs like beds or mattress or curtain. So some of the stuffs that I had were not qualified, and I had to deal with them on my own. Among this, the bed was my biggest concern because it was a semi-double bed and it was really big, and I had no one with me, so I just didn't know what to do with it at all. However, I was still working close to my previous apartment at that point, and I just had to stay there until the last day of work. So actually still having a bed turned out to be not a bad thing at all. I didn't have much stuffs with me anymore, so the last few days the sleeping situation was a bit tricky. I just put some random blanket cover on the mattress, and it was kind of cold, but somehow I survived. As I mentioned earlier, I sent all my remaining stuffs with Yamato, and in the end it just cost me around 20,000 yen, and it was obviously cheaper than any moving service. One of the things that I really love about Japan is that they have a lot of good door-to-door delivery service, so it's really easy and affordable to send stuffs inside Japan. I really recommend sending stuffs with delivery service, especially when you're alone and have no elevator in your building, because they will carry the stuffs door to door for you. It's just so cheap to send boxes this way that I always feel bad for the guys who have to carry my heavy boxes. Anyway, on the last day before I returned the apartment, I was already living in the new place, so I just went back to my previous apartment during the day to finish cleaning up. I sold my ceiling light, so I had to put the original light back, and I was too short, so it was really hard to reach the ceiling. By the way, fun fact, in Japan it's more common to see this kind of socket and you just have to put the light in and turn it instead of twisting the light bulb. I also had to take the curtain off and didn't do this until the last day because everyone outside could look straight into my house if I had no curtain. Again, I'm so short, so I struggle a little bit to reach the curtain. I custom made this curtain 2 years ago from a shop called Nitori, and I really love the color and the material, but too bad I cannot bring it with me to my new place. As I said before, getting rid of the bed was what I was most worried about. And also I mentioned earlier that to do so, there are services that the staffs will come over to your place and pick up the stuffs and throw it away for you. So I tried to call some of these services and tried to ask for the price, and they told me that it's gonna cost around 10,000 yen. Obviously, I didn't want to pay, so I asked around and did more research. Then I found out that in Japan, when you want to throw away something that is too big, you can throw it away as sodaikomi, and this is handled differently depending on the area that you are living in. I searched for the price and also contacted the oversized garbage center in my area and asked them, and they told me that it's gonna cost only 2,500 yen to get rid of my bed. If somehow I magically can get it out of my house and then put it in front of the entrance of my building. I almost gave up on this idea, but somehow I figured out that I can actually disassemble the bed by myself. So I obviously just went with the cheap option. I just had to make a reservation with them, and if you want to do this, make sure that you do it well in advance so that they can pick it up before you move out of your apartment. After that, you just have to buy the stamp and stick it on the furniture. I was living in Yokohama and these were the stamps that we use, and you just have to buy it from convenience store or from some certain shops and then write your name on it and then stick on the furniture. At the end of the day, I just have to take the furniture out of my room and then leave it in front of the building before 8 a.m. and then the trash company will come and pick them up. I'm not sure how it is for other areas in Japan, but in Yokohama you can find all of the information about this on their official website. There will be a fee table for your reference as well, so I found this very helpful. My bed is just a mattress with a frame and 4 legs, so it was possible for me to take it apart easily. If you live in Japan, I really recommend this type of bed because it's light and easy to be moved around. First, I took off the cover and separated the mattress with the frame under it. The frame is actually made from 2 separate parts, and when I bought this bed from a shop called Nitori, it came with these small tools so I can just use it to remove the nails. I got everything out of my apartment, on the last day, the person from the real estate agency just came and checked the condition of the apartment. And normally after they check everything, they will tell you like how much you have to pay if there's any damage to the apartment, and you will have to pay for that so that they can fix it. And then after that, you will return the key and leave the apartment. I put some hooks on the wall to hang some stuffs before, and eventually I had to pay almost 10,000 yen to fix that and to change the wallpaper, because even though it's just a small spot, they have to change the whole wallpaper of the area connected to that spot. So if you live in Japan, just don't stick anything on the wall like me. Also, by the time that you return the apartment, you have to make sure that you have already contacted the electricity, gas, water and internet company to terminate your contract. You can do this by calling them or filling out the form on their website. Another thing that you have to do when you move in Japan is that if you move out of an area, for example, I moved from Yokohama to Tokyo, then in that case you have to go to the city or ward office of the area where you were living in and then notify them that you're moving out. After that, they will give you a paper like this, and you will have to bring this paper to the ward or the city office of the area that you're going to live in, and then register your new address. In case that you just move within the area, it's less complicated because you don't have to inform them that you're moving out, and you just have to register the new address with them. The last thing you have to do when you move inside Japan is to change your address everywhere, including the bank you're using and your mobile phone company and so on, and most importantly, the post office. In Japan, the post office offers this forwarding mail service, and after you register with them on the internet or directly at any post office, they will forward any mails or parcels that was sent to your previous address to the new address for 1 year, and then this service is completely free. So I find this very helpful, and after 1 year, if you want to continue this service, you can just apply for extension. Okay, so I think I have covered everything that I did this time when I moved, and as you can see, there were a lot of things to do, and I hope that this information would be helpful for you guys. Anyway, you can see that I'm in my new place right now, and I hope that I can show this to you guys soon. But like, to be honest, it's so tiny, so there's not much to see actually. Anyway, that's all for today, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye! By the way, I almost forgot this. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more video about lifestyle and travel in Japan. Definitely let me know how it is to move in your country as well. See ya!